undefined. Consolation paradise. First love full moon. Still lies. I'm giving in to replaced in stone by hardened times. Red line, jackknife. A truth untold buried inside. A love undisguised. First love full moon. Still lies. I'm giving in to you. I'll be here where you left me, waiting silently to be set free. I'll be here where you left me, waiting silently to be set free. I'll be here where you left me, waiting silently to be set free.
And clap.
Sweet.
How was that, man?
Yeah, that was a good clap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Master percussionist. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let us do some introductions to begin with.
I'm Clea Anais, and I play cello and keys in Raleigh, and I also sing.
I'm Matt Doherty. I play drums.
Period.
Period.
I'm Brock Geiger, and I play guitar and sing.
So Raleigh, it's interesting because when I first heard of you guys, I heard it pronounced multiple ways. I
Endless
imagine
ways.
that happens a lot.
It happens a lot, but it's kind of funny. I don't think we ever expected it to happen a lot. But, now that it has happened a lot, we kind of just enjoy the different variations and interpretations and, things that people have to say about it. So
You guys play in a lot of different bands and in a lot of different genres, some would say as well. Do you guys mind mentioning what other Calgary bands you guys play in?
Not at all. We both play in a band called The Dudes. We both play in a band called The Dojo Workhorse.
And then I also have Access to Conversation, the High Kicks, and until recently the City Defects as well.
yeah, and I think over the history of Calgary, like if you look at the last 10 years, we've all played in a lot of different bands that have done a lot of different things that have represented a lot of different genres. One nice thing about Calgary is that there's so many different kinds of music happening, and there's a great community, so we all have the chance to support each other musically.
So, being that you guys are in a lot of different bands, your role in each of those bands, do you find that they vary a lot, or do you find that you take the same things into the different bands and they obviously become different sounds because of all the different people that you're playing with?
I think you take the same ability, but at least for me, I play to the music. So something like Dojo, where I'm there to enjoy the experience, I'm there for the fun and the ride and the people. It really calls on a different kind of musicality and investment in terms of performance, and also in terms of the work that you put into the band. So Raleigh is more of like a brainchild for us, whereas for me, at least, other bands can just be a good time where you play tunes.
I think you got to be adaptable. It's more about serving the music you're playing than serving yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I think your personal expression is going to be in it no matter what. And it's, you're the one behind the instrument, but it's, there's no sense being like trying to do something that doesn't fit, right? Like, it's people are there to see the band that you're seeing, not like, you being like a noodly jerk. Yes, so yeah.
That's a good band name, by the way.
Noodle jerk. Yeah.
Keep it in the back.
Yeah.
With that said, though, I mean, I also find that Raleigh as a group for me allows more opportunity to sort of, you're not, there's less expectation to play a certain style or to play in a certain way, as opposed to maybe a lot of the other bands, just based on the configuration and whatnot. But this is really like, I think for all of us, this is a band that we all get to really kind of stretch out, and any kind of musical ideas and concepts that come to our mind, we can try out, and there is no structured sort of, sound or anything. I feel like there's a lot more freedom with this group to just go and perform whatever we want, and
we try to not say no to anything, but we fight a lot about it.
Yeah.
We all say yes, but it's to our own,
There's definitely but I mean, that makes the music stretch in interesting ways, because I'll have an idea and I'll be like, well, you guys at least have to let us try it. We have to try it like 5 times before we say no. And through that process, we'll maybe play a section of a song and Brock will be like, no, it's not working. Matt will be like, well, what if we try it this way? And then we'll kind of like meld the process into something that works for all of us. And you take it away and play it a couple of weeks later, and suddenly it's working. So we don't try to restrict what we're doing, really.
I sway with a straight temptation. It's a joke to trust in lovers. Total bust. Looks like I messed up this one. Shakes and takes me under. Total bust. Looks like I messed up this one.
You guys have some new material that you recorded outside of the city. You recorded in Montreal in a really interesting environment. Do you guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was just even recording outside of our own city in itself was like really rewarding to be like fully immersed. We stayed in a place like a few blocks from the studio. We're doing 10, 12-hour days for 2 weeks solid, and it was like all we had to do. It's
a dream.
just removing yourself from paying phone bills and going to work. It was like nice to be all music, and it let us, I think, you get to think about ideas and stay in those ideas for the whole time, and it really let things develop, and I think it's a way more cohesive record because of that.
That really is a dream, though. Like you said, that's like every musician's dream, to be able to take a chunk of time and just dedicate
just
it
that.
You can focus on what's happening. And we had worked, we had the songs that we were going to record. We knew our parts, but for the first time we added French horn or trumpet or electronics. And so we left the studio with a brand new product that was new for us. And that's really exciting. And even just the input of the engineers, Howard Billerman and Greg Smith, they both, I think they both influenced the work just with their energy in the room and how excited they were. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
They're heavy hitters, but it sounds like they're engaged in every project that they take on.
Yeah, just them taking the second to care or pay attention to the little things that maybe slip past us.
When we got to the mixing process, you're almost sitting, it's like a back burner position, and you're handing this over to somebody who's mixing it, and the things that he chooses to bring forward or the things that he thinks are less important aren't necessarily what you as a member in the band hear. So it's really interesting the way a song turns out would be so different from what you're used to, I think.
Yeah. Well, and just in general with going to Montreal and recording at Hotel to Tango, I mean, the studio itself was just a really great space. It was super comfortable and cozy, and it did not have the kind of sterile environment that you're used to in most recording situations. It was really you're jamming in this beautiful living room,
and super inspiring. Some of my favorite records have come out of that building. It's wow,
Is that intimidating? Walking into that environment where a lot of amazing albums have been recorded, a lot of stuff that may have even influenced you.
I'd say exciting more than intimidating. The first day walking in and just looking kind of on the shelf, and there's the Godspeed You Black Emperor tapes just sitting there. They had just finished recording it a couple of weeks before or something It
was a super cool vibe when we were there too. That newest Godspeed record came out while we were there, so it was a really cool buzz, and that building's attached to Constellation, and just a lot of excitement, and I think we got to tap into that a bit, and
I got to record really with the 100-year-old piano that Patrick Watson and Rufus Wainwright had played on, and for me that
Leonard
was
Cohen as well.
such a treat just to touch
amazing.
it. So as lame as that seems, it's it's inspiring. It's not as though we try to make our material live up to what has come before it, but we use it as inspiration to be excited about the fact that we have the opportunity in life to make music.
Well
it's a treat.
Stay in
Side, dotted, left, solid, right, rear, view, time and rewind.
Stay in
Side, dotted, left, solid, right, rear, view, time and rewind.
undying
Horizon lines,
guide my
tide
wandering
wandering line. I control the gears for you. Line palms on the steering wheel. Sped towards the desert, soar applied the cactus richest falls. Heard the howl from the deep west, following the sunset.
stay in side dotted left side
Right,
rear
view, time and
rewind.
All right, that's that.